Right, good morning. I am off to Jensen's Cooperage today. Sean thought this was a good idea to get there to see the guys that are giving us our barrels to put our rum in. I'm really excited about this. We've ordered a lot of barrels. We're going to be going through an awful lot of barrels, and if 70% of your flavour comes from a barrel in an aged spirit, then it's super important to make sure you've got high quality stuff. So we're going to go over to the Cooperage. Let's get up there and have a little look around. So we're just back from the Cooperage, and it was super exciting, but I realised, because whenever we were there was a lot of banging and a lot of hammering of the metal and stuff like that, didn't have a huge opportunity to do much talking in there. So I'm going to ask Sean a question or two about the Cooperage, and Sean's going to walk us through what they were doing there and what we were looking at.
As you saw today, it's pretty much hitting things with a hammer. Okay. And some of the banging and crashing may well have been down to me. Okay. You've got to prove yourself to the Coopers that you vaguely know how to use the equipment, and then learn a few things from them, because they're very experienced chaps. But we've ordered about 210 ex-bourbon barrels of various types from there. You know, originally when I ordered them, I thought they'd just come, straight from America. They stick them in a container for us, but actually it's a bit more complex than that. They refinish them for us, so they basically dismantle them, refinish the edges, reassemble them, pressure test them with some water and make sure they're not leaking. It's hard to describe, but they literally look 10 times better. And better sealed. I have this saying, no say anything negative, but like, the Americans are building them quickly for a price, but they're less worried about how nice they look, and if one leaks a tiny bit, it's not as much of a big deal. Whereas in Yorkshire, they're really taking time to dismantle them, make them look pretty and put them back together so they're perfectly fitting and they're nice and smooth, and are just better than they left the factory, basically.
So Sean, you've placed an order. What have we ordered? What barrels can we expect at our distillery? What are we doing with barrels?
Like I said, we've got 210 ex-bourbon barrels coming of various different types, including some Heaven's Hill, Brown-Forman's. Yeah, it's like a really bad pub quiz that I should know the answer to.
Buffalo Trace?
Buffalo Trace, yeah. We just got an assortment, haven't we? And a Port Ellen quarter cask in there for just, fun.
For those that don't know, that's a closed distillery from the island of Isla.
We could only get one. We wanted loads, but yeah, we can only get one. Hopefully, in our travels, we'll come across more one day. But we've also ordered some STR casks.
What's an STR?
So basically means a rejuvenated red wine cask.
What does it stand for?
Oh, you're going to throw me under the bus, aren't you? Shaved, toasted, recharged, yeah. Basically gives you a rejuvenated cask, which is the important bit. What they do is they skim all the insides out of the barrel. They actually make the wood thinner, which has an interesting effect of making it more porous, and then they'll re-char it. And so you get like beautiful, complex flavours. So you get fast aging, lots of oxidation, and then you get all the red wine goodness that just ekes into there, so you get a really strong colour. And if that wasn't good enough, we've got 50% of them are going to have French oak heads, which will give a nice we goodness, like a bit more of a brandy note in there, which really is quite interesting.
He loves it, doesn't he? He's absolutely loving it.
Oh, well, we were one of the first at my previous job to have them, and now I feel like it's my baby.
Basically what Sean's saying is the French heads are like his signature. Whether he came up with it or not, it's like his little signature. I'm just reflecting on how cool yesterday was to meet Alistair Sims, the Master Cooper at Jensen's. The knowledge that he's got, the knowledge that his team have, just incredible. I mean, the speed in which they can dismantle, repair and build up a barrel is phenomenal. I also just want to comment on why barrels are so important. We talk a lot about barrels and barrel aging as if we know what that means, but I just wanted to address that because there's actually a number of different things happening when we barrel age something. Off the top of my head, 4 major things that are happening. You've got oxidization happening to the liquid inside, a little bit like how a wine with a cork may mellow over time. It will slightly oxidize. Same sort of process is happening in a cask. So you get oxidization, you also get concentration, you get alcohol and water evaporating into the atmosphere, leaving behind those flavor compounds, and it just concentrates into a richer product. You obviously have oak flavor going into the liquid, or whatever was in the cask before may have left residual flavours into the oak, so you may pick up sherry notes from a form of sherry that was in there. One of the main notes that people get obviously is vanilla, and that's from a chemical compound found in oak called vanillin. If you ever buy vanilla extract, it's probably from sawdust from oak because of that chemical compound. It smells and tastes so similar to vanilla pods. But when they toast the barrels, a lot of those sweet notes within the wood are caramelized, so you end up with exactly that. You get caramel notes and toffee notes, and that's just from the oak itself going, the flavors from within the oak going into the liquid. And then lastly, you have volatiles that are in the liquid going into the oak, so it sort of mops up any of the harsh tones that were potentially in any liquid that went into the barrel. So all of that's happening, and at different rates in different climates, different places, different humidities. Even within a warehouse, the height of where the barrel is in a warehouse will change the speed and the nature in which it's aging. And of course there's all sorts of other conversations to have on angel share, but that's for another day. Yeah, really impressed with Alistair and his team at Jensen's Cooperage. It's great to see the craft being kept alive, even if it is by a handful of people. We're very lucky to have these people that dedicate their time and their lives to it. So I hope you enjoyed watching the video. Thanks again for watching. I hope it's been interesting, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, bye bye.